in every sphere of human activity. This deadly challenge imposes upon our society two requirements of direct concern, both to the press and to the President. Two requirements that may seem almost contradictory in tone, but which must be reconciled and fulfilled if we are to meet this national peril. I refer first to the need for far greater public information, and second, to the need for far greater official secrecy. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweigh the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
So this is New-Nesara for the USA. 25 million per person with reductions made for our age and divided into three groups. Like I said, group 1, 61 and older. Based upon my calculations, they would receive 100%. Group 2, 45 to 60, 62.5%. Group 3, 24 to 44, 37.5%. These are subject to change. So how does it all number out? I obtained information that confirmed, a maximum payout of 50 million, double, calculated in 2016. So that took it from 25 to 50 million. Well, how did we get there? Well, let's do this first. Let's figure out what it is. Then we'll talk about how we got there, which is miraculous in itself. I went through and ran all the demographics and came up with a extremely reasonable estimate for the age groups. How many participants? 61 million, 46 million people. I'm sorry, 61 years old and over, 46 million. The total payout would be 2.3 quadrillion. 45 to 60, 51 million. 1.593 quadrillion. Payout $31,250,000. Payout to the 61 and over, 50 million. So you can see how these are reducing based upon age. 24 to 44, 85 million participants. 37.5%, 1.593 quadrillion. Now this is what perfect math does. Base 10. Golden rule. Look at these two. They're the same. Look at the diversion. 51 million, 85 million. Now, I didn't plan this. God told me what these percentages were, and I started dropping in the numbers and calculating everything. And, I started on the left-hand side. Came up with this number, came up with this column, came up with this column, and then multiplied. This times this equals this. I'm sorry. This times this equals this. This times this equals this. And all the way down. Maximum payout, if everybody got 50 million, would be 9.1 quadrillion. $100 million total for the payouts. Base 10. The numbers these are numbers that are figured for presentation purposes. And the allocation of the monies is age-based and uses golden ratios. These are the golden ratios right here. 31 million for the 45 to 60. 18 million for the 24 to 44. Okay, now remember, this is up through 2016. So after I did this, I said, okay, well, I've got to bring it current. What does it look like if I bring it into 2023? So I took the same numbers as far as eligible people and age groups, and I carried the balances out. So it now goes to 61 million, 38 million, 22.875 million, and the total payout is 6.694 quadrillion. This was an increase of 1.2 quadrillion. Not too shabby. This all falls into the lower end of the money that was put up by the Chinese elders. The 45 quattrodecillion. Quattrodecillion. That's 1 with 45 zeros. A quadrillion has 15 zeros. So that was our increase. Now, interestingly enough, look what happens when we take the sum total of what's being paid out and we divide it by 2. It's 61 million. So 61 million goes to the 61 and over, and then the sum of what's paid to the remaining two groups is 61 million. Perfect. Perfect math. Now here's how I got there. Last week, or maybe the week before, I put out the Gematria timeline from January 19th, 2023. And one of the line items, one of the phrases, I think it was phrase 20, the phrase was 3.14. And it was written out, TREE 1, or 0.14. Well, I started to work on this, and I had to get a growth rate, right? From 1994 to 2016. And before I could even put the answer down, the Lord said, it's pi. And there's pi. So I did two calculations. I did one on pi, and I did one with just a slightly normal interest rate. Well, pi is the closest to 50 million. So that's how 50 million got selected, based upon a growth rate of pi. So that took us to the 50 million through 2016. Well, shouldn't I use the same rate of return, same interest rate or growth rate percentage to calculate the remaining 7 years? Well, I went ahead and took it from 1994 all the way out to 2023, and there's the 61 million based on pi. Isn't that cool? I did all this after I knew exactly where we were on that timeline, and it just fell right into place. But, you don't have to waste a lot of time on that. This is kind of like looking at the recipe or the ingredients for a nutritional supplement. If it works, it works. You don't need to know all the ingredients. If it makes you feel better, that's all you need to know. And there was a African proverb that said, the speaker of truth has no friends. Be ready, the time is now. Let you contemplate that. I'm a speaker of truth, of God's truth. This is how it all got started. 6-year sting operation, the most intense undercover operation in the world. Bitcoin, Ethereum, they were never intended to be anything more than a trap to catch evil, and all of that's being clawed back, and it's all going into the humanitarian projects.
And David, in our conversations we mentioned the Q phone and computer at the
Yes.
redemption centers. Could you just walk us through that process for the listeners so they
Sure.
get a better understanding when we get
Sure.
that emergency call? And,
Yes. Well, the way the order is identified right now, emergency broadcasting system goes off. All of the markets are shut off.
Mhm.
We then have the disclosure, 2-day, 3-day, 10-day. Then we're going to go into the notification from Wells Fargo Bank via email to call an 800 number. We're then going to be routed to a regional call center in the United States. There's 8 of them, 7,000 redemption centers. Each person will be given an appointment after they identify themselves. We'll arrive at the appointment no earlier than 10 minutes. If you do, you go to the end of the line. And that's not the end of the line for the day. It's the end of the line for the entire process. And it doesn't guarantee you'll be seen. It's because it's going to be 8 to 12 days, not 30 days. Then you're going to go in and you're going to go into that initial screening room, and that's where the wheat gets separated from the chaff. If you have a pure heart, you're going to go through the correct door, and you're going to begin to go to station 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And those stations are going to ask you for foreign currency, where you're able to exchange it, add it to your quantum access account card. If you have dinar, there's a special rate. So first you need to ask what the rate is, and then you need to ask for the special rate. And I've heard the special rate is $11 to $17 versus $4. Then they're going to add that. They're going to add that to your quantum account. And you're going to go to a station. You're going to get your quantum card. You're going to put your vibration code into it, and you're going to go to the next station. And you're going to get your quantum computer and your quantum phone. You're then going to go to the next station, boot up your computer, access your account. Once you do that, that card is only works for you. So you can't hand it to somebody and they can't use it. So all of our money will sit on the quantum financial system, operating off of Starlink, unhackable. Everything is blockchained onto the Xrpl. It's not going anywhere. You know exactly where everything is, just like they do now. You're then going to be able to set up to 4 sub-accounts, credit union, local bank. You'll be able to get lines of credit. So if you want to go buy a house or a car, they'll give you a letter of credit that you can take and show that you have the money. You'll then be able to, let's see, what's the next step? Quantum access card, accounts. The last step is you're going to be asked if you have a humanitarian project. Now, this is what is key. No more than 3 paragraphs. When they ask you if you have one, you're going to say, yes, I do. It is this. I need this, and I need this, and that's it. So, for example, like for me, the Lord wants me to develop centers for foundations to come in, have services provided, help the new money people understand how to manage money, and then collectively provide services. So I would say, yes, I have a humanitarian project. It's to provide resources for other foundations. I'm going to need money for office buildings, staffing, and utilities, and other resources. Period. That's it.
I'm so happy you said that, because under my NDA, I'm not allowed to say that, but that is a very accurate statement. So you've done me a huge favor there for my audience.
Thank you, Charlie.
It's a pleasure. It's nice when every now and then I'll get Mark Z on to say things that I'm not allowed to say.
Well, I don't have an NDA.
Exactly right. And that was very clear to me, because you've basically stated what's going on there, which I'm not allowed to tell my audience. And you've just done it, and I've verified what you've said. This is accurate information. And I will add to that the compliance, as I said earlier, is off planet and can read whether you can see the compliance person or whether in the room and recognize them as being somebody that is off planet or not. I don't know. I haven't been there yet.
Right.
I do know that when you come out of there, every person that comes out of there is put under an NDA for a simple reason, that you don't go out and blab about it and let your ego get the better of you. But once you lose the love of money, once you lose that and you focus on getting yourself right, God looks after the money for you, and he'll drip it back in. He won't flood you. He'll drip it back in, make your life easier. He has done with me. And the more that I've done for other people, the more God has done for me. God has an incredible sense of humor.
Oh, doesn't he?
And you do a bit for humanity, and he gives you a bit more to do the next day, and sometimes the same day. And he leads you down certain pathways. And when he can see that you're doing it for all the right reasons, he'll give each and every one of you more and more and more. And the number is irrelevant. If you're going out there with greed, it just means that you've been suppressed as a slave for far too long. And when they release those chains that you've been chained up in, and instead of me, the minute you start thinking about other people, you will grow spiritually like nothing else.
Wow. I still, every time I watch that, it just blows me away. I was not expecting that at all. So if you need confirmation about what I'm talking about being verified and being the truth, there it is. Right from the one who's in charge of the quantum financial system with regards to humanitarian projects and everything else. He's the European director, and he also oversees what's going to take place in the United States. He's the official spokesperson. Over here, this just talks about my Rumble channel, the Dave XRP Lion Show. You can go over and see individual videos. My interviews with Nick Veneman, with Susan Price, with Dr. Kia, and just get a whole host of information. I have a fantastic video that's pinned to my profile on Twitter at the @ XRP Lion 1, number 1. and it's right here. Go over here. This humanitarian project has been already pre-approved. Everything is there in that pinning, from the actual template that I spent about 90 hours creating. All you have to do is put your contact information in, come up with a name for your to be part of this humanitarian project. There's instructional videos that are attached through this process. And per Charlie, he knows that there's something on your heart. A minimum of $1 million already agreed to work on this together. Just for having that completed, watch the videos, and download the template, the instructions, fill it out as fast as you can, and in the paperwork. And I say that because there is a hidden kill switch on all these computers. Now, I got a separate video on that. We could stop right here. But so when the EBS goes down, we talk about this, or goes off, and the computer's all shut off. I know that each and every one of you we may not have access to our computers. There's tens of thousands of people that have already downloaded this and rendered useless. Nothing will be retrievable. I didn't ask for 1 penny to do this. So if you don't receive any information on your computer for doing this, that is pure and clean under God's authority, not my own. Offloaded onto. I don't give you my opinion. Hard drive. I only do what He tells me to do. I only speak what He tells me to speak. Later on, to upload onto the quantum financial system. You wouldn't be getting this, but if you don't have this template completed before the EBS goes off, and everything may be lost to do these videos. You may miss out. So on the ability, you're watching this video today. If you did not know resources, God is handing you $1 million that's always been there, that you always said if you just had the money. So I urge you to move quickly. And with that, I want to say thank you for your patience. I want to thank you. I want to say thank you for all of you. 26,000 people, over 28 million views on all the videos across all of these different platforms. I'm just flabbergasted. I mean, I don't do this for my own glory. This is for God's glory. He's our creator. He's our Father. And He wants you to come home to Him. He's waiting to hear from you. And again, I thank you. I love you, and God bless. So pay attention. Now let's talk about some books I recommend. Right now, the #1 tool for the minions is about creating a fence. Okay? This is the only book that you can ever read to understand it. It's by John Bevere, The Bait of Satan. Get it now. Don't wait. Not reading this book right now could be enough to not get you through the Redemption Center because you're harboring offense in your heart. I had a friend that when I first revealed this revelation from the Lord, he called me up and said he had not realized that for his entire life he was carrying resentment for his dad. And this set him free. The Rhema Code. If you want the best non-religious book about getting rid of shame and regret and loneliness and despair and hate, and that feeling of being unloved, this is the book you want to read. It's an easy read. It identifies your true identity in Christ and what that means. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. He wrote this in a secular way in the early 1900s when everything was happening. And what this book helps you do, it helps you understand how to think, say, hear, and speak. Because you're going to come to understand that once you begin to think a certain way, heaven opens. And that's what happened for me. This is when I came to understand this isn't being taught. There's no pastors teaching about this. I've been teaching everybody that I know about it. Because then what happens? It's that manifestation that happens immediately. It's like what I need right now. I just praise and thank the Lord that He's already provided it. And there it is. Why? Because I do it every day. I'll be working on something with Him and I'm like, Dad, what's the number? And He gives it to me. I don't have to wait a week. Book #1, get this. Order this tomorrow, tonight. Get this one read and digested and fully understood. You can buy these 2 books and hold on to them for once you get this done and you're in that period of REST. Get yourself free and then understand how to think and speak. It's bringing us into our close. And I want to thank you once again. I want to thank my dear friend. His initials are BG. He has been an invaluable help in helping me organize all this information and bringing me up to speed on all the other information. I mean, you can go and watch my other videos.